Good evening, all of you. I'll start with a disclaimer. I know Sanjay Pugalia now for 40 years. I have seen his transition from Hindi print media to English print media. I have seen his transition from print media to television. I know the entire family too well. So please, the sentiments he expressed should be taken with a pinch of salt. I say so, otherwise there may be many caveats. We have in the audience, apart from the awardees, very distinguished people. I need to make reference to them. Former Chairman SEBI, UK Sinha ji, a remarkable human being, brought expertise to his job. Sri Gopal Jain, a distinguished senior advocate, well educated, and doing a good job. I know Sushil Rungta, former Chairman SAIL, for 58 years. His presence compromises my ability to address you, but I'll pick up some courage. Then coming to Padma Vibhushan, the one and the only one, Amjad Ali Khan ji. Sir, you are a source of inspiration, source of motivation, and the handicaps I suffer because of presence of others are more than neutralized by you. Though Mr. Amitabh Kant is an awardee, but I came to learn about Mr. Amitabh Kant when I was Governor State of West Bengal. People remember me because Mamta ji was Chief Minister there. But I remember my tenure also, apart from Mamta ji, Mr. Amitabh Kant. And I'll tell you why. I was heading a group of 10 governors. We had to formulate a policy of ease of governance. He was then in Niti Aayog, a remarkable human being, very innovative, result-oriented, and his contribution helped me greatly on behalf of other 9 governors to formulate a good report. But then we tend to forget. Well, let us go to 2023. He was involved with an assignment that had potential fault lines that could have compromised his career. Organizing G20 was not easy. Organizing P20 was not easy. He came out with sparkling colors. There was no hiccup anywhere. India was recognized globally that we organized P20 so successfully, it became a role model for others. I know him. Well, this is an age where you must not ignore the younger generation. Doesn't matter if he happens to be son of your friend, Mr. Vipul Rungta. He has made his mark in his own right. I know him since birth. I look up to him on issues that matter greatly. And last, not least, I was elected to Parliament in 1989. Mr. K.C. Tyagi, I came to know him. And ever since then, we have been in touch. K.C. Tyagi brings in politics a fresh air. He is antidote to adversarial behavior. He has no enemies in politics. I have admired him on numerous occasions. We were in the same political party. When I had the good fortune to be a minister, the first thing I told him, you deserved it. I got it by accident. Friends, it is a delightful moment for me to be part of NDTV's Indian of the Year event. I'm still wondering why they stopped it in 2015. I was part of governance in 1989. That was beginning of coalition governance. We had more than 20 parties. I was a junior parliamentary affairs minister. In 2014, after 3 decades, the country came to have single party majority. I thought it was a good occasion in 2015 to continue the program. Thereafter, it was not. But I'm happy and delighted. It is back on the rails. And in a lighter vein, so is our Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. We are back on rails. Warmest greetings and wishes to all for a joyous and colorful Holi. This is going to be very different because we never imagined, at least me and Mr. Tyagi in 1989 to 91. We had to suffer the pain that to sustain our financial credibility, physical gold of this country had to be airlifted to be placed to 2 Swiss banks. And now I am told there may be a week where foreign exchange addition may be more than 6 billion. And it is now over 600 billion in total. So we face those changes. My congratulations to distinguished awardees. I can tell you, all of them have earned it. They well deserved of it. And when you have an award like this, then awardees become a source of inspiration and motivation for many others. It carries a stamp of credibility. Something that happened with respect to our civilian awards, Padma Awards. If an award is driven by patronage, if iconic status is generated by event management, then it doesn't have acceptability. I congratulate the jury for having chosen people who have really contributed to the growth, rise of this country. This award will inspire many to join our marathon march for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. Friends, the reverberation of Viksit Bharat is palpable in every corner of our great nation today. It is more than just a call to leapfrog into the future. It is a definite promise. It's a firm promise that in 2047, we will be a developed nation, meaning thereby none will be left behind. The development in this country in last decade has been plateau, not pyramidal. The benefit has accrued to one and all, and in every nook and corner of the country. Recent years have been a testament to India's journey from fragile 5 economies in the world. Fragile 5. We had the good fortune to be in the big 5, leaving behind Canada, UK, and France. It is a matter of time, and I can say less than 2 years, the country will be big 3 economies of the world, ahead of Germany and Japan. So our Amrit Kal, which from every consideration is our Gaurav Kal, in a sense, laying foundation for a developed nation in 2047. National mood in the country is one of hope and possibility. And why not? We have seen unprecedented economic rise. Those who claim to know economy, who were part of dispensation, and who thought and put it in public domain that rise will not be more than 5.5%, did not respond when the rise was over 7.5%. Then we have exponential infrastructure growth that is envied by the world. Bharat Mandapam, Yashobhumi, new building of parliament, our expressways. Just imagine where we are. Even from a global benchmark, we are in big league. Then, well spread out digital penetration. The benefit is available in the village, in tier 2 cities. People are reaching to a level where they never imagined. They are reaping dividends of it. And then upsurge and emergence of new vistas and opportunities. Our young people today have an ecosystem where they can exploit their energy and talent, their potential, and realize their aspirations and dreams. Affirmative governance has made it possible. Friends, when we look at the world affairs, India's image was never that high, and it is rising. G20 will be remembered for epochal accomplishments. African Union became a member of G20. India became voice of Global South. I can keep on going. Many achievements were there. The entire world witnessed 5,000-old civilizational culture of this country. This is where we are. India in the world is the only constitutionally structured democracy that is at all levels, at the village level, at the municipal level, at the state level, at the central level. We have robust judicial system. In such a situation, we are obvious, I emphasize, India is obvious pacemaker for global peace and harmony. Friends and Mr. Sanjay Pugalia, in such a scenario, media is eminently suited to be an agent, to convey right perspectives, to understand India, rather than be prey to orchestrated narratives seeking to taint, tarnish, and demean our image and institutions. It is something which media needs to reflect and take proactive steps. Democratic values optimally blossom and flourish when there is equality before law, when there is accountable and transparent governance, where patronage, nepotism, and favoritism have no space. There was a time when these three pernicious tendencies dominated our working. But that, soothingly, is a matter of the past. Privileged pedigree has disappeared. Equality before law is writing on the wall. Those who thought they are immune to law, they are above law, they are different than others, have realized it to their pain. What can be greater pain to a human soul? Young boy and girl living in the largest democracy, that some people are more equal than others. They are more privileged. That system has gone. In the process, morale of our youth has gone up. Friends, global institutions earlier used to treat us the way they treat our neighbors and other countries. Get into reformist mode, take care of your economy. You need to understand this kind of working. What a big change. All global institutions, without exception, are praising India, applauding our growth, recognizing our historic achievements. Take any area, IMF, they say we are a bright star in global economy. We are favorite destination of investment and opportunity. World Economic Forum has expressed confidence that India will be a developed nation in 2047. India is at the cusp of immense possibilities. It is no longer a nation with a potential or a sleeping giant. It is on the rise. The rise is unstoppable. The rise is incremental. And the growth story transcends beyond skeptics. All this is because the country has affirmative governance policies, visionary leadership, a determined leadership that sees nothing but execution. And the execution is in the shortest time and a ground reality. Inclusive development with unwavering perseverance. Just imagine if these steps had not been taken. Where would have been today? Look at the pandemic COVID. But earlier to that, there was a massive banking inclusion. Can you imagine 500 new bank accounts? People have not seen a bank. They thought it was difficult for them to have an account. They had. I don't wish to go to other social parameters, like every house has a gas connection, a fresh water tap, it has or it is on way to getting it, a toilet. Every village has a center where you can ensure delivery. Lines have disappeared. There was a time people used to take छुट्टी. I'm sure Amitabh Khan ji, you must have felt it. आज मुझे छुट्टी लेनी है क्योंकि मुझे बिजली का बिल जमा कराना है. आज मुझे छुट्टी लेनी है कि पासपोर्ट की एप्लीकेशन देनी है. We have transformed. We are in the big league of nations that have availed technology for rendering services. And this has contributed massively to transparent, accountable governance. India, friends, and media in particular needs to take note of it. We are amongst few countries in single digit that are extremely alive to the power of disruptive technologies. Our quantum computing commission is in place. Green hydrogen mission. Allocation has been made of 6,000 crore for the earlier one, 19,000 crore for the second one. In artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, our focus is there. Gone are the days when we used to wait that technology will be developed in the West. We will be in the queue to get it. They will decide how much we get it. Circle is complete. India is now epicenter. India leads in harnessing these technologies. Media in such a scenario is an important factor, a great stakeholder in promoting these affirmative changes. It can contribute massively in building great Bharat, a Bharat of our dreams, foundation of which has been laid down in Amrit Kal. No nation, and now I'm coming to what media needs to do according to my perspective. No nation can grow without unflinching, steadfast, emanating from heart commitment to its nationalism and culture in all its facets. The spirit of nationalism must be deeply embedded in our thought process. How can we countenance some people compromising our nationalism? I appeal to media through you. You are an important media house. Economic nationalism is quintessentially fundamental to growth. If Bharat practices economic nationalism, just imagine we will save in billions drain of foreign exchange. Correspondingly, employment will be generated here. Entrepreneurship will blossom. If industry, commerce, and business decide that raw material will not leave our shores, there will be value addition. Things will go a long way. Media can do a great job. Media has a cutting role in imbibing the spirit of economic nationalism. Let me tell you, and everyone will agree with me, no fiscal gain can justify compromise of economic nationalism. We should not import an item which is available in the country. We need to subscribe to Sabdeshi, vocal for local. The moment we get an item manufactured in this country from outside, we do it only for fiscal gain. We must not yield to this temptation. Media today shapes public opinion, disseminates information, and wields influence over social discourse. It is main pillar of society and country. As fourth pillar of democracy, media credibility lies solely within its own control. It should be effective, and there ought to be no hindrance in its way, while upholding high standards. Its smooth functioning is a collective responsibility shared by media, government, and society. Friends, media serves its cause best by being objective and not getting involved in politics. We know the ground reality. I will not reflect more on it. It should take all care and precaution so as not to become a battleground for partisan politics. Media cannot be platform for free fall of untenable information. It damages our democratic fabric. It shatters individual reputations. It destroys institutions. If you start floating information without due diligence, it can wreck our economy, social fabric. How can we have in vibrant, robust democracy like ours that media will give wings to any kind of misinformation? It has to be neutralized, and that I'm sure media should be doing. We are living in times where public is extremely aware. Informed public is the spinal strength of democracy. Misinformation can be ruinous. Media is a natural watchdog to contain and curb such free fall of misinformation and falsehood. If media does not do it, then who will do it? There is urgent need for media and media houses to reflect and have a mechanism in this direction. Fearless, informed, independent media is the safest assurance to nurturing democracy. Let me tell you, I'll make one reference only. Citizen Amendment Act. Debate is taking place. It is in high decibel. It is orchestrated. And situation is crystal clear. Citizen Amendment Act does not deprive any Indian citizen of his or her citizenship. Citizen Amendment Act does not entitle any man or a woman presently living outside the country to get its benefit. Citizen Amendment Act is a reprieve to those persecuted who are in this country for more than a decade, and there are several decades also for some. Now, if you go by ethos India has been a sanctuary, a place for those who have been persecuted over centuries. And an impression is generated differently. Media in such a situation has to play its role. Why role is not being played in proper perspective? Because partisan alignments. It is good to speak from a platform that media's ethics is this, but people practice it. I'll be quoting more trouble if I get into more details. And a smile by Mr. Amitabh Kant says that it is good to be discreet on occasions. Media cannot be a registered, recognized, or unrecognized political party. Media has to do its job. We saw a decade ago some people in the media leveraged decision-making of a high caliber. It went to the extent of positioning in the cabinet, in the government. Media should not be a power broker. Media has only to do its job. Fourth pillar of democracy is also accountable. I appeal to everyone in the media. We are having a Bharat today, home to 1/6 of humanity. The world is looking at us. The world is looking at us with hope, optimism, and confidence that Bharat is a stabilizing force. We have a visionary Prime Minister who has been invited by both the parties to a conflagration. We are vindicating our age-old ethos of peace and harmony. I am sure media will engage into self-regulation. I will appeal to media in particular. Our young journalists in the villages, in tier 2 towns, in states are doing a great job. They are excellent. They are human resource of unrivaled nature. India has a large category of veteran journalists. This group constitutes a global think tank. By and large, our journalists are ethically oriented. They are passionate about their work. When everything is right, how can pudding be spoiled by some? And that media should come forward by your self-regulation. Friends, tonight we came together to recognize the Indian of the Year. And I can tell you each one of them merits it. Let us not only applaud their achievements, but also recommit ourselves to the values they represent: integrity, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Let me tell you, it is not easy to be Indian of the Year. If you are doing outstandingly well, your peers are not kind to you. They will be epicenter to handicap your working through several ways. You can be collaterally damaged. If in such a scenario and challenge, if people have performed, it is our national duty to applaud them, praise them. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, NDTV, for providing a platform to shine a spotlight on these remarkable individuals and organizations. Together, let us continue to build a stronger, more prosperous, and more inclusive India. And I can tell you, in conclusion, we are proud of our institutions. Executive, the world recognizes India's executive prowess, led by Shri Narendra Modi. The world recognizes power of our Indian judiciary, robust, effective, expeditious, independent. The world recognizes power of our legislature in states and in parliament. I therefore appeal to the fourth pillar of democracy that is performing well, but to come to that level, to be in sync, to ensure that marathon march of every Bharatiya, marathon march for Bharatiya 2047 succeeds beyond our imagination. Thank you so much.